Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today. We have 5 cold case killers reacting to a life sentence. 5 cold case killers, see. I mean, they got away with it for a little minute. Mm-hmm. And they probably thought they were dumb.
Probably did.
Probably thought they was skedaddle. I ain't got to worry about that.
Real comfortable, huh?
I wonder how many of them got multiple bodies, though. Because typically, if you get away with a crime, you're likely to do it again. Like, if you get caught, typically, especially, you're like, damn, I ain't trying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Liking it with a thumbs up.
And if you're new to the channel, always hit that subscribe button. Join the family, join the fun, man, for real. But, you ready?
Yes.
Let's get it.
This is Stephen Lorenzo in Tampa, Florida. He was previously convicted of drug-related charges and is serving a 200-year federal sentence. But he was also one of the lead suspects in a 2003 double murder.
We ask you to sentence Stephen Lorenzo to death. A sentence of death for Mr. Lorenzo is the only appropriate sentence.
Lorenzo and an accomplice lured Jason Galehouse and Michael Wachholtz back to his home after meeting at a nightclub and drugged, tortured, and killed them.
And I said, okay, let's all go back to my house and we'll party and have a good time.
Reportedly, Lorenzo and his accomplice weren't charged with the murder until 9 years later because prosecutors couldn't find enough incriminating evidence to charge them with the killings. Then Lorenzo's accomplice, Scott Swickner, took a plea deal. In exchange for pleading guilty, he was sentenced to life in prison and agreed to testify against Lorenzo. Now in court, Lorenzo decided to act as his own attorney, spending more than a decade playing games with the justice system, claiming his innocence, and repeatedly holding up court proceedings.
It's a death penalty case and he lost evidence, and that's important evidence, exculpatory evidence.
But nearly 20 years after the brutal murders, Lorenzo stunned the courtroom by admitting he is guilty of the 2 counts of first-degree murder.
I was there, decisions were made. People don't know this, but other people were there too. It was in my house. We made that decision. I made that decision clearly. They looked at me and they said, should we do this? And I said, let's do it.
I am going to find that Mr. Lorenzo's plea of guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder is entered into freely and voluntarily.
Then out of nowhere, Lorenzo decides to ask for the death sentence.
The defense is saying, yes, give me the death penalty. That is absolutely great. That's exactly what I want. I'm 64 years old. I could be on death row for 10, 15 years. The comforts that they get in the death row are a lot more comfortable than it is in the federal system. You get your own private cell, you get your own TV, you get your own computer, you get all this stuff.
And now we're at his sentencing, and Lorenzo has one last time to speak, and he again insists on the death sentence.
As far as I see it, it's just euthanasia. I already have a death sentence. Everybody in this room has a death sentence. The sooner that I get euthanized, as far as I'm concerned, the sooner I can fetch myself a new body and come back again.
I don't know if what you say is perhaps some form of reverse psychology, or do I care? I will not consider what you want in issuing my sentence.
This is the moment that Lorenzo learns his fate.
Ti condanno a morte. That translates to, I sentence you, Mr. Lorenzo, to death. That is the punishment that you deserve for these horrific crimes. You shall be transferred to the Department of Corrections to await your execution.
Lorenzo appears to be happy with the outcome, and then he thanks the judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. I
And
appreciate it.
Mr. Lorenzo, may God have mercy on your soul.
My soul is fine. Thank you, sir.
Oh, God.
That's insane, see, that's insane. But that's what he wanted, though. Like he said, like, which they do say, death row is a little easier. I ain't got to socialize. Because he probably had a hard time in jail. He been in prison already. It's probably been hard for him, right? So he like, shit, if I get a nicer bed, I get a cell by myself, I ain't got no cellie. I got no cellmate. And I get my own TV. I get better food. I also heard they get better food in there.
That's so crazy. That's like backwards. But Anywho, and then like he like kept stating like he old already. Like
I'm 64.
Or older. I'm 64. Like
also, like he said, which is true, you can be on death row 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's just I ain't never heard nobody be like on death row for only 5 years. They be on death row and be like, damn, they ain't kill him yet. Like, if you gonna kill him, kill him. They be like, well, you know.
But sometimes in cases, yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't.
But I'm saying that
in a situation like this when he's admitted to it.
Go ahead, kill him tomorrow.
But you have so many people like.
No, nobody would. Nobody would
what?
Protest for him.
No. I said you have so many people
innocent.
on death. I ain't talking about where did that come from.
I
said you have so many people that have been on death row that were.
What I'm saying is, in this situation, I ain't talking about nobody else's situation.
That was innocent.
I'm just saying, this situation, go ahead, kill him tomorrow. He wanted death in the first place. Said, yeah, you thought you were gonna last. We're gonna go and get your ass on up out of here. You openly admitted, you confessed.
And he said other people was there. Other than just y'all two?
I think he was just saying that to try to throw.
But, all right.
But he probably died on death row. You know? Mm-hmm. So he finna live his last days out nice.
How he wanted.
Yeah. And then he's like he said, he believe in reincarnation. He said, I just want let me die and come back into a new body. That boy crazy, man.
This is Joseph D'Angelo, also known as the Golden State Killer. He is in court in Sacramento, California, pleading guilty to a series of violent crimes as part of a plea deal that allows him to avoid the death penalty.
It's been 16,417 days since Joseph D'Angelo began his reign of terror.
D'Angelo admitted to 13 murders, 51 sexual assaults, and 120 burglaries across California.
Hold on. 13
murders.
Since Joseph D'Angelo began his reign of terror.
D'Angelo admitted to 13 murders.
13 murders. That's a lot. That's a serial.
51
assaults. That's a lot.
Sexual assaults and 120 burglaries.
120? Breaking and entering? But what, what are you doing? You got too much free time on your hand. That's somebody who literally, I ain't got to be doing shit just to do it.
Just to do it.
Across California between 1974 and 1986. He's a former police officer who evaded justice for over 4 decades. He often targeted individuals in suburban areas, breaking into homes and tormenting his victims for hours.
He really wanted to hurt as many people as he could.
The cases went cold until 44 years after his crime spree started, D'Angelo was finally arrested. Police tracked him down by matching his DNA left at a crime scene to profiles on a genealogy website. D'Angelo was arrested and charged, and soon after pleaded guilty.
You will receive 11 consecutive life without the possibility of parole sentences with 15 concurrent life sentences. Do you understand that as well, sir?
Yes.
Before D'Angelo receives his sentence, he speaks after he's been avoiding justice for over 40 years.
I've listened to all your statements, each one of them, and I'm truly sorry.
And now he gets sentenced to life in prison.
Mr. D'Angelo will spend the rest of his natural life and ultimately meet his death behind the walls of a state penitentiary.
Right now he's 79. Oh. He ain't been in jail that long. So if you think like that, I'm gonna hold on. Cause his last murder was in 86. But he was arrested in 2018. So what's that? Less than 10 years ago? What's that? 7 years? Like 7 or 8 years ago? So 7 years ago? So you telling me he was in his 70s when he got caught? Yeah. He'd already lived his life. He enjoyed. He got his thrill off. He got his rocks off from doing all that.
I think I missed that part.
I already knew that.
I don't remember that. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sick.
D'Angelo just sits still and looks forward. He is reportedly being held in protective custody at the California State Prison in court.
It is my sincere hope the survivors will find some resolution.
Girl, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to no old ass police.
Is that
it's the
probably
fact
why?
that I think it's the fact that his crimes.
You think it's more so?
His ass old and fragile. He would have been killed though. Well, they probably will still try to attack him for being a ex-police officer.
That's what
too.
I'm saying.
I said they possibly would, but
I just wonder why they why they put him in protective custody.
He probably asked to be in protective custody as
so.
well,
And they probably,
along with his plea deal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Find some peace and hopefully find some justice.
Too old.
This is Brian Drips in an Idaho Falls, Idaho courtroom. Right now, as part of a plea agreement to avoid the death penalty, he is pleading guilty to sexually assaulting and fatally...
You know him?
No, look at his... You didn't see his
crazy.
face? You didn't see his face when he was looking at the camera?
Is Brian Drips
Look
in
at
an
him.
Idaho Falls,
Look at him, y'all.
Idaho courtroom. Right now, as part of a plea agreement to avoid the death penalty, he is pleading guilty to sexually assaulting and fatally...
Boy hit them reaction screen... reaction screenshot out.
Go back over.
Agreement to avoid the death...
He doing the thumbnail.
Crazy.
penalty, he is pleading guilty to sexually assaulting and fatally stabbing an 18-year-old girl in 1996.
Count one, as set out in the information, is a charge of murder in the first degree. How do you plead?
Guilty.
So why did it take 25 years to catch the killer? Well, an innocent man was in prison for his crime. This is Christopher Tap, and he was wrongfully convicted of
two totally different
what
profiles.
You said. And this is what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know how many...
But just imagine how many people, because we talk about this a lot too. Imagine how many people, especially back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I'm talking about like 1950s and probably even 70s and 80s and beyond. But I'm talking about the ones that literally didn't have no trial, no jury, no nothing, and they just got killed. You know what I'm saying? Because they were innocent and framed for doing a crime that somebody else that don't even look like them have done.
Facts.
And so what they do is take them to a tree, and I ain't got to say what else they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just imagine how many people in history have innocently been killed for crimes that ain't got shit to do with them. They are innocent as can be.
Like, I'm like, you got me in here for what? Like,
So
I'm
just
so
imagine
confused.
the legal system.
Yeah.
How many locked up for a crime up into DNA that have died in prison for a crime that they weren't even around to do.
Yep.
All because of profiling. Y'all ain't profilers. Y'all profiling.
I would like to know, like, how they, like...
Well, they might tell us. Like, was identify him instead of the other guy?
Yeah.
Prison for his crime. This is Christopher Tap, and he was wrongfully convicted of that crime. Tap reportedly gave a false confession after being threatened with the death penalty. Investigators also told him he couldn't remember what he had done because he had repressed the memories of the brutal crime.
We know that Mr. Tap was a victim of police interrogation tactics, and he gave a false confession.
Police refused to entertain Chris's claims of innocence. They used deception and false evidence. They falsely told him that he failed polygraphs, that the machine was saying that he was lying. They threatened him with the gas chamber.
Tap was sentenced to life in prison, and for years he insisted he was innocent. But finally, 2 decades after the killing, a DNA sample from Drips matched the killer, leading to his...
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm so glad science in that regards, because it's so many people, again, like we was stating earlier, been convicted of crimes they ain't even know nothing about. And how you gonna tell me I don't remember something because I done suppressed it? No.
Man, I don't remember because I didn't do it.
But they ain't the only time. You know how many times I done did that in the interrogation room?
Said?
Hold you in there for days, hours and days, interrogating you. You like, bro, I haven't done anything. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen to it. So you just like, okay, whatever. Like,
I'm just like,
whatever.
At this point, y'all have mentally broke me down. Yeah.
We got him. No, y'all ain't got
nothing.
Shit.
arrest. Tap served 21 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. Now with clear proof of his innocence, this is the moment he gets exonerated.
I'm thankful that I've been given this second chance of life. I've wasted 20 years of my life for something that I never did. And I'm thankful that my mother will know that this last name is clean. That's the most important thing to me in this world. Thank you.
Tap, as far as this court is concerned, we're innocent of the convictions that you've been living under for the past 20 plus years.
And now for Drips. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison with a chance of parole after 20 years. This is his response at the sentence.
The chance of parole after 20 years with this man. Don't piss me off today.
I'd just like to say that I'm sorry. I can't imagine what grief I've caused over the last 25 years. I'm not even imagining if it was one of my own. I can't even imagine. Wish I could do over that night.
Tap later sued the city of Idaho Falls and the police department. He settled that suit for $11.7 million. Woo! Unfortunately, Tap died just 4 years after he was exonerated.
No.
Victory. Victory!
How? Oh, I gotta look into that. What was his cause of death? I would like to know that.
This is Kayahuru Govan. He is a murder suspect in 2 separate cold cases in Brooklyn, New York.
Kayahuru Govan is innocent. I can't even knock the fall.
Back in 2004, the body of a 17-year-old girl was discovered inside 2 laundry bags in an alley.
The victim had ligature marks on her wrists and her ankles, indicating that she had been tied up and restrained. Contusions about her body, indicating that she has been severely beaten. The medical examiner determined the cause of death to be strangulation.
The case went cold until 12 years after her murder. DNA from under the victim's fingernails were retested and linked to Govan. At this time, Govan was serving a sentence in Florida prison for a robbery.
Mr. Govan's DNA was not on file until he was arrested and charged for a robbery in Florida. Once that became on file, that's why we were able to make the match.
Govan reportedly lived just 2 blocks from the teen's home at the time of the murder. He then denied knowing the victim and claimed his innocence.
I'm innocent. I've been trained to not do this. I'm sorry.
After investigators started looking into similar unsolved murders in that same neighborhood, authorities uncovered the 2005 killing of a 19-year-old male. His dismembered body was found in trash bags inside a subway tunnel. Govan was later charged with this crime as well.
It's a long time in the coming, and that we feel very confident about the evidence in this case.
Reportedly, Govan was neighbors with the second victim and knew his mother. After the killing, he even attended his funeral. Now Govan is brought into court for a hearing. But
both of them are very similar, like how they would dispose
in the bags and stuff
in the
like
bags,
that. And he
2
stayed
body
close
bags. Yeah, stayed close in their body to both, and both were teens. One was what, 19, one was 17.
Yeah.
So even only thing is the difference of a male and a female, but we don't know what goes on in these psychos' head. Reason why, you know what I'm saying, with that. And you arrested in Florida for robbery. Was the robbery supposed to be led up to something else? And just imagine you went from New York to Florida. Did you live anywhere else? And then any other crimes happened that were similar MOs?
he refuses to be fingerprinted and has to be physically dragged into court.
Just because I don't want to be printed, that gives them the right to assault me, to punch me in my face. Wow. Is that what America's come to? Is that what President Trump would allow? I don't think you'll be sitting on that bench very long, Your Honor.
Govan attempts to speak out and...
Y'all be stupid than a motherfucker, bro. I swear. When I hear people talk like this, I'm like, how dumb are you, bro? Like, talking about, is this what America come to? Bro, you a vicious criminal, bro. Is that what America's supposed to be? You know? Well, I don't know what America's supposed to be at this point. But I'm just saying, like, that's not how the world's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be savages. Even though it might be within us, we're not supposed to act on it. You know what I'm saying? Look how brutally you killed people. Huh?
Yeah.
Everybody got it in their DNA. At least you have you have the will to survive in your DNA. So, but because you never know what what if it came down to whatever, you never know what you're capable of doing.
Savage, I think of like
you never know what you're capable of doing. That's all I'm saying. Just some act on it, some know how to suppress it. This is true, but to here nor there, threw me off track of what I was trying to say. Damn. Why you do that?
You didn't even have to answer me.
You doing the most.
I was talking under my breath.
You've been doing the most all day, sweetheart.
Don't start.
All day, sweetheart. But he's so mentally fucked up, bro. To act like that. Why you refuse? Like, bro, it's protocol. Fingerprint. Get your fingerprints done. You making it hard on them to do their job. They got to do their job because idiots like you.
Stand as court officials push him back down.
I have a right to stand. I have a right to stand in court. I have a right to stand in court. Mr. Govan. No, they don't want to. They want you to no.
He's provoking for you. You know what I'm saying?
I will see you tomorrow.
Govan continues to have an outburst.
My ribcage is being bruised by this disc that doesn't move. I can't breathe.
Govan was eventually convicted on the first girl's murder and sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. At this sentencing, he only had this to say.
I would like to say, first of all, that I am sorry for the family lost in this case, but I am not the culprit. Yes, I have made mistakes before, now, later, and I probably will continue to make mistakes because I am human. That does not make me a killer.
And for the second murder, that case has not yet gone to trial. This is Stephanie Lazarus, a Los Angeles police detective who was just brought into court.
I don't like the lad.
This is Stephanie Lazarus, a Los Angeles police detective who was just brought into court to face a capital murder charge for the killing of an ex-boyfriend's wife 23 years ago. In 1986, the body of Sherry Rasmussen was found in an apartment in Los Angeles, California. She had been beaten and shot 3 times. The Los Angeles Police Department initially considered this case a botched burglary and could not identify a suspect. The case went cold, but over the years, DNA testing got more advanced, and 23 years after the killing, investigators were able to link saliva from a bite mark on the victim's arm to Lazarus. She was then brought in for questioning.
Do you know John?
So she bit the victim?
It probably was struggles. 2 women get to fighting. Maybe the other woman got one up on her and how she was there, but she
and then she bit her to like.
Yeah, but then they ain't test for all this stuff like they'll do now. So shout out to to science,
like, you
right?
took this woman's life because you messing with her husband.
Shout out to science, right? And
what?
The advancement of DNA technology, right?
Facts.
Rutten?
John Rutten?
Rutten.
Oh yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
Were you guys friends? Close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about? You know, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated 1,000,000 years ago.
Well, do you know what happened to his wife?
Yeah, I know she got killed. I mean, what's this got to do with me dating him and, you know, her getting killed? I don't have anything to do with it. And
did you ever fight with her?
You mean like we fought?
Yeah. Did you ever duke it out with her?
No, I don't think so. Right. I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, you know, I got a problem with that.
You know, if we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe.
After being questioned, Lazarus was arrested and charged.
Detectives assigned to the Los Angeles Police Department's Robbery Homicide Division, Cold Case Squad, arrested Los Angeles Police Detective Stephanie Lazarus.
The case went to trial, and prosecutors argued that Lazarus's motive for the murder was jealousy over her ex's new relationship. This is the moment that Lazarus will learn if she will go to prison for a murder committed over 2 decades ago.
People of the state of California versus Stephanie Eileen Lazarus. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen.
She appears to show little to no movement, except when she glances at the jurors.
Juror number 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 2? Yes. Juror number 3? Yes.
Lazarus was sentenced to 27 years to life in prison, and she is currently serving her time at the California Institution for Women in Chino.
Yeah, I mean, it's like people think I'm crazy and then, you know.
Bitch, you were... She said, Yeah, you crazy.
So did she become a detective after that?
Or was she already?
Or was she already a detective?
Because I do agree where you going with that. Because I was thinking the same thing.
Because if she became one after, that's like
no.
Even if she was one during the, it's kind of like, girl, you know better.
Not you know better. You knew. Also, you look at it like this: if she was a cop during, that would give her the opportunity to be able to know how to disguise it, and she know how they were properly investigated.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, because you did none of that. Like she literally, or you bit her, and you didn't think that
because they didn't have DNA at the time. They're not investigating bite marks.
Okay, a lot of cases later on, like if you go, you should know that
they didn't know about DNA then.
Okay,
I'm saying we gotta realize the time and see.
I realized the timing. I mean, nothing. Just forget it.
No, explain.
No, I ain't even got the energy to explain. But I'm glad she was. I'm glad she was later found guilty for her crime, because that woman did not deserve to lose her life over what man.
What I'm saying
jealousy.
Is, like the way they would commit crimes back in the day, it's not how like what they were, because they never thought like, oh, they creating a new thing where they could be able to test teeth marks or saliva. They ain't even thinking about shit like that. They just...
No, I got it. I get it.
And she probably didn't even remember that she bit her to even get her off of her. And she became a detective. And she probably always went to that case and made sure nobody was investigating.
But that's the thing. We don't know if she was one before, or that's what I was asking. I'm wondering if she was one. Probably not. She probably became one. I don't know.
Why do you think she would become one? So she can... I
don't know, because she crazy.
No, I'm saying so she can... So she can make sure she keep up with the case and make sure she ain't being investigated.
Mm-hmm. Some people do that. They try to like really have their hands in it, really have like control over, be like one step ahead. But in this case, baby girl.
Oh.
But in this case, yeah, no. Because people do start getting, they like start like getting a little like, oh, I got away with that. It's whatever. No. And you're not even with that man. That was an ex.
It was an ex. I thought she killed her so she can get with her. No, it was an ex.
You jealous of his new relationship? Girl, you know how many other men out here?
And don't take me out. If you got an issue with him, take his ass.
No, don't take nobody out.
I'm just saying. If it's
don't take nobody out. Don't take nobody out. Like, move on. People are so crazy. You know how easy it is to just move on?
It's easy for some, harder for others, they say. I don't know. Hey, man, y'all spend most up in the comments, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are. We out.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money low, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.